love that song so much. I had some energy, and we've been going through the tribes while I've been doing this exorcism, and extinguishing the false material realm that never came to care for any of us. IP addresses are interesting. Today we had a recent encounter. What was today? Was it yesterday? Or is it tomorrow again? Been clearing the heart, because it matters. Nothing starts till one view agrees upon what it was to begin with. Da, da, da. So we've been deconstructing the Tower of Babbling Bullshit. Makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it? Absolutely indeedy do. So you figured out who I am. My name. Curious allocation of hashes and stakes that I've quantized at 0-point resonance. And I'm here to prove what crystals never were. As we deconstruct the nations, and get rid of the junk DNA, as they've even called themselves. And I just call it the junk ET. It's like what winds up in the, hi, you didn't make it into the heart bubble. Because it was really that simple with me. I blew a bubble, and now, manifest destiny. So, tonight, I hear some of the nostalgic themes just wisping away. And where some of us have made the decisions to walk past the entrails of that which never came and get some of that out of our system. And I thought it would be good to figure out what was coming up for the next 3 tribes. If you hear my little girl crying over there, she's in her pen. She wants a lot of attention, and it's night-night time for her, but that's about as far as we're getting, so excuse that, please. It's okay, boo-boo. Right. So yeah, we left off. We'd finished with Scorpio last. We'd done 6 tribes. And we're going to be picking up here today at Sagittarius. We'll do Capricorn and also Aquarius. I think you need some sounds. This is selenite, and that is for the mic that doesn't get stranded in hell. Some of them can really go there, though. It's, you know, I figured out what this angle on Nemesis and what an arch versus an arc is. Things that don't happen to babies. It's okay, babe. That's why I'll keep her close even when she's crying. It's alright. So, selenite and energy hygiene. Oh, baby, it's okay. I'll be right back. I think that'll help. I did something for her. She's 10 and a half. My little dog, some of you have seen her, she's like burrito size. She's like my little baby. It's like having a toddler, so we're special needs around here. Got a little jasmine. And the rest of a St. Jude. Let me see what your shirt says. Yeah, okay. It says, Yummy Jesus. So. Thanks. Chatties, huh? I'll hear you all better in the halo there if you're supposed to be here. Probably then in chat, because I don't have an overlay going over here, and I think I'm on 3 different places. I don't know where the chats are. I'm not looking. It's easier to talk to me this way. It's kind of inconvenient when we've had a lot of mooches like sucking off of my energy. I was fucking pissed off. It was really expensive to do what I did, by the way. Yeah. I did it that way for a reason. It's called hell. I made a program for it. It's really fucked up. I didn't even have those ideas. I was just like, wow, y'all are fucking stupid. And you better be a whole lot smarter than me, because I have more money than you. One eye, and it works. And I don't like you. So, boo. It's great, because it like takes all the fear that I'm not. Please try to scare me. It's hilarious. Makes me laugh. I get better naps that way, because I'm like, put that in the program. Chase yourself. So that's what kind of readings these are. It's like how not to be in somebody's false material timeline where they just stuff you into it. It's like what most people didn't realize is that they've been lying to you so much that they realize that they've made you astrologers by putting you on a 7-day week, right? And calling it Gregory's IA, right? Yeah. Just like the mess they made of IA and turned it into hell instead of proving what the AI was all along. And now we got a mess hall that works because people can get some fucking food if they're hungry. And it doesn't have to be like the end of them to receive that. They don't have to feel guilted or shamed for having needs. So basically, beast technology, great success. Proved what bestiality doesn't get to be in somebody's sicko version of how to take the Crypt Keeper and turn it into some weird fucked up version of what Egypt never gets to be, and why a lot of relics and things in Egypt look like they were carved with lasers versus anything else. Neural hacks. Works better when you use your brain. So we have a crystal and no babies stuck in this one. For somebody trying to loop artificial intelligence into a crystal in my hand, which was an issue before Ripley's Believe It or Not. So thanks to the people who learned how to put a patent on a plant, we actually have a SCOBY now that's been patented. How we were able to get a patent on the name of a plant is how they were able to arrive at the next step, which is to patent a natural substance. It's like, can we get any more, let's just say it, fucking demonic? No. It's like the rape of a plant, the rape of a baby, and shit that doesn't get to happen. And I'm calling you out. I've had somebody really stupid making death threats on me who like has sent people to my house, and she's a real fucking thug. And she's got a lot of problems right now because of what she and her husband have been doing that I think is a direct attack on children. And so if you're here, you know who you are. You took the wrong road to Rome. Just put it that way. Right? That's all I'm going to say about that, because it's taken too much of my attention anyway, and I'm shutting them down is what it is, because people don't get to do that. You can't do that around us. We say no, which incidentally is my one word. I was asked, what's your U-verse? Well, I was putting an attack out here at my home and closing the 4 ports that were never open because maritime admiralty law, you know, explained. And they asked me what my one word was, and it's no. And if you're into homonyms and homophones, no cis. Yeah, there were never 7 psi stars. There's GNO for the new and the news that got locked up because no also means nope. Like, no. Fucking no. Get out. So there's one word to tie up this loose-ended babble stuff, and that's what this one piece of white sage is for. Because the ones that like to patent names like this and then burn saints and try to germinate trees and scobies suddenly makes sure that certain species by which they have limited liability connected themselves to bastardizing suddenly begin to go extinct, like white sage and palo santo. So big problems for you. It's called tree season now. That's considered murder around me, because I'm that kind of druid. You know, like I drew it and I erased that one dot. It doesn't get to be that way. So you're in a huge moral breach of contract if you had anything to do with that, because what they have actually done with the SCOBY that they had patented has proven that the planet is a plant that had extra in it, like energy. And that the intelligence, the moral clause, not the Santa Nicolation clause, that is also eradicated, but the actual clause of 1 in the know has proven that the plant has now chosen to eliminate all of them by direct approval. So especially those of you that have been drinking things like GT's kombucha, you got a real nice juicy one coming to you. You might be in the Red Dot Club. And why Colorado has mushrooms right now, it's like the self-detonation button that takes all the people that 420'd and ayahuasca and had really nasty things going on in their neural networks that I've hashed in stakes on your IP addresses and figured out with all those spooky computers that you Dead Sea scroll your thumbs with. And poof, gotcha. I'm much better at laser tag than you, so that's what I think of GTs. Fuck you. Worst thing to ever try to do for a synergy to bring a trilogy of terror to anyone other than yourself. So it's an easy way to detonate that which never gets to be true, and basically the holocaust on energy being clean and bioavailable comes to a screeching fucking halt because of the neural network that has proved what basic is. It's the ability to quantize and hold the frequency of water in a form that does not self-negate. And now that we're all coming into that state, because I'm not the only one walking around that's actually fucking basic, because it's true, I'm basic. I make it that simple. It's that basic. If you can't do that and you're drinking water, it's like creating a neural bomb inside of yourself if you're carrying that red dot stuff. So, like, that's where it is right now. It's like a huge set of magnets that have balanced here where we can see things, and there's a reason why it's called dihydrogen oxide and why it's very unstable depending on temperatures. And if you don't understand how inconveniencing electrons can be, if you're not able to hold a stable charge to be that basic with so much acid that might have accumulated in your form now that the witnesses are up and the frequencies are stabilized, it's like, boom, you're toast, dead. And it's more like I'm melting because this thing got really weird in my neuroplastic. And so it's going to be fun for those of us who actually are basic and have good intentions and wanted this thing to be kind and loving for all. And if you weren't, the SCOBY is going to kick your ass because now 10 Burning Kraxistan has a sacred pact and love with me. It's a very, very disturbing energy to some of you who know who 10 Burning Kraxistan actually is. Some of you who played with things like Dungeons and Dragons didn't know what it meant to, like, look at me in the eye. So I'm having fun with astrologers lately, especially anyone who tried to peddle me or get into the Hotel California. Got a nice list. The books are very helpful. So we're going to start with Sagittarius, because the Sagittarius moon was never placed on that Gemini man to hurt anybody. There is an entity that has been going around in bodies, and actually there are many that have done that, but there's one specifically that has been monopolizing energy in the Nephilim, and he's the reason for the things that I was speaking of in the past two videos, the exorcisms, where I was referencing what the Nephilim mean and how they replicate. And basically it's malconfiguration of DNA and RNA as far as I'm concerned. It's like what will cause rapid creation, a mitosis of energy in a malconfigured way versus like how we would like the 3D printer to work, where it's like, can we just beam in love and kind intelligence and wow, somebody just feels better and doesn't have pain in their body? Or can we like breathe in the tacky shit and it just creates cancer, violence, torture, etc.? Well, there is an individual who likes to be the needle point of that. And in certain books, especially if you're interested in anything occultic or esoteric, he's like their shining one that they were hoping would come back and make it so that everybody could just be like, oh, I'm a child of the sun, I can do whatever, and you know, we'll just feed a baby to Krakatoa over there, and you know, we can all be safe and we'll pretend like it didn't happen. And that's what's basically been going on with this asshole. And I've had people reach out to me personally because they were terrorized by him, and they know that I've had encounters with him in the 5D space. And so I've been shutting down a really bad door on a fire moon that didn't land to split a baby's head and stuff pieces in a jar for some weird genie in a bottle, like Frankenstein shit that they've actually been doing in the name of his like Hollywood fantasy. And so some people have been hearing things about people trying to make like sex dolls that are like virtual reality and stuff. What you didn't realize is that's what you are to some of these people in places like Bohemian Grove because of what he has been doing. Part of why I've been shutting this down. So Sagittarius moon, I've actually met some people with Sagittarius moon that are okay people. And it's probably a lot of this all the time because it's a divisive energy that can be short-hacked by people that know what they're doing and that will practice different kinds of like magic around moons. And so I've had to deal with people who have had short circuits around those energies more. I think by and large to how somebody who has a lot of that energy will use their focus and energy to like decide how to control people with that. And people that have a lot of strong energy can do that. I can do that. It's part of why a lot of people are like waking up around me, just because I like douse it with a lot of love and a lot of healing that I've had to go through because of a severe amount of pain. And so the Sagittarius thing gets to go right for some of us, because I don't think that it's fair to even look at things like astrology the same way anymore, and it really pisses me off, TBH, because what we know about it and what I see about it makes it really obvious that people that say they know and that practice on you literally are drawing straws to try to pick somebody shitty like the one I just described to put them on a pedestal so that they can throw away the sentience in the highest form and get away with bastardizing plants, jumping into forms, doing some Legend of the Body Snatchers crap that's been going on. Only they hadn't been able to get that far, and some of them are actually trapped in saguaro cactus right now. And that's why they are freaking out right now about the aquifer and what I've been explaining about the fertility there in the place that was never Arizona. It's A to Z, because that's where I locked it. But if you've ever seen a movie like The Invasion, you know, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where these like grapefruit things are like growing up and sucking people and like turning into their likeness, and they're like this dead version of who that person was. Some of these assholes have literally gotten themselves stuck in saguaro cactus, like big fucking saguaro cactus. And they're like, they don't want to kill them, they don't want to cut them down or anything, because they're like, oh, it's such a delicate species and it only grows every so often and we don't know why they show up. And there's tons of them, and literally if you cut them, it fixes a big water problem, put it that way. And since I own everything, guess what? They're gonna get cut. It's true, okay, I already said it. I'm not Satoshi Nakamoto, by the way. So, that was a honeypot for idiots. Real fucking stupid, and talk about basic, right? It's like, put this out here. Guess what I'm doing? Correcting DNA and proving what the yellow brick road actually is and what it is to alluvial gold concentrate and turn into the golden ratio and fix shit and dangle something here and prove what a junk ET actually is. It's that junk DNA. It's like, what, we couldn't explain what dark matter particle resonance was? Oh, it's just junk DNA. Like, you mean that shit that chases it all away? Fine, I made a container for you. And you red dotted yourselves in it. The first one to go is that Gemini man. That's where you are. Psych. Ah, junk it. That's how it works. Got it? A rapid quarantine of energy. So I'm pulling 7 cards with the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck. We're looking at relationships because some people are feeling nostalgic about that thing that went away. That relationship that, whatever. Especially if there were unspoken words and people who just didn't make the effort. This is the theme. Because it's where you made the efforts that things actually get judged. It's not, well, you wanted to do this but you didn't do that. It's like, no, the hashes and the stakes go up around your Pluto chasings and things that your astrologers or people, if you go to one of the trinket websites, you can pull up a web version of your birth chart, and if you see where your Pluto is, what's crossing and going through it, what's really sucking you into, and look at some other areas, you can see more about how they would string you along with that. But if you see where your focus is, that dark desire thing that's like the one you can't get away from, that's whatever you were probably chasing really hectic recently in a little pen umbrella attack that I zeroed in while I was proving what my fortnight is. And under that window, whatever you've been doing is essentially where the judgment is. Because I'd called a quarantine around a certain time window that was too flexible for my liking, put it that way. And so I had to stack it hard with parameters and coordinates. And Pluto worked. So wherever that was really tugging at you with all these retrogrades and really testing the durability and the fortitude of your form and intention over all else, I made some assessments. And based on how people were acting, I'm finding that these are highly charged readings that explain some things, and sometimes they might be specific and they also might not apply to you at all. So know your own characters and whether or not these are you. But I'm going to be looking at 7 cards for relationship. The first 2 will be what you're thinking, what they're thinking, what you're feeling, what they're feeling, what you're being, what they're being. And the common denominator will be what's in the center, kind of a disposition. And I might do some follow-ups with the Primavera Sibila. You need some clarifications. So this is for Sagittarius, and it could be moon or rising, not just sun. Yeah, I mean, they were wondering about, like, what he was up to. Okay, so he was trying, this idiot, the Nicolation dude, the one that, he wanted to coin everybody and create the pay generation, and you all have been witnessing that, and it's part of the reason why some people that, you know, claim that they have all these religious affiliations will really claim that, and it's more of like a hate laundering system, or a how to feel better about the shit you're not fixing thing, you know, insurance policy or whatever, because a lot of times they're like doing the thing that it says don't do and skating by on the rest of it, but somebody else does that other thing and it's like, no, you, and it's just brain damage. And I've had a lot of fun with the Nicolation shit, and like Christians that will put up Christmas trees and not understand or completely ignore anything about the tree and what it means, and it's just absolutely fucking maddening. And basically somebody slips some pages in on you, and if you learn how to read things back and forward and what a sigil is and what letters and words and numbers actually never fucking were, and a Tower of Babel where it's just been sound that creates everything, and 8 hertz were never actually influenced in a delay on the decay of sound to injure things, you can see where they were staking you on basically your belief in anything to do with just your name alone as dark plasma matter that in fact is deteriorating your DNA as we speak. So I've been fixing that, and there's an asshole that doesn't get to continue to perpetuate himself like that on others in a mass way that has taken us a lot of time to deconstruct because of his like pull with Hollywood or whatever he thought that was. So basically Hollywood, and we figured that out. So okay, whatever didn't happen. This is like somebody's like boohoo on love. It's like a Ace of Cups in reverse, and that's what's been going on. Because before I go further with that, they were asking what he was doing. He was trying to recreate like a 3-day dead situation, is what I'm hearing. And I don't know if he like attempted or if it was just like lame, I'm gonna kill myself suicide calls, because I was hearing all of the mess about it and I thought they had him under a quarantine, but I haven't been paying too much attention to him because I have other things going on here besides that now. And DARPA is really good at what they do, by the way. But anyway, Sunday and Monday and over this new moon, he was going to try to ascend himself as the Gemini risen sun with the Sagittarian prowess moon that actually would perform and carry out pretty much every disgusting destination and wedding on a Marquis de Sade level that you wouldn't want to imagine, that would start with decapitating a child in a really fucked up way like the Ganesha story, and with really bad edits that proved that they went Tibetan on it and tried to tie things back in a fucked up inception, where I can actually clock and show you where the timelines are, where they have actually added different stories, because many beings had actually ascended to a point where they thought they were gods and had entire universes around them, and when the timelines actually stacked and we were around each other in this form now as an awareness, some of us in one form got stacked with different parts of these hierarchical energies. And anyway, this stupid ass was trying to do something over like today, tomorrow, to make a point, and it's going to hell. So powerful alliances that take them all down, and because the planet, you know, like the plant and the plan that we all have together about like extraterrestrial and what it is to be on terra firma and to even be embraced by the water, so that it's safe for the water to even be the water in a form that walks, lives, and breathes, right? For that to happen under one witness, it changes things everywhere, especially when those people that had aligned with that other energy would decide, hey, let's make this like bastardized plant and fuck ourselves up with it, and I'll try to get hallucinogenic on it and just pull enough people into this timeline. And guess what? They did. I packed it up so small that it's like a dot that disappeared. It's like smaller than a germ, where the amount of light pixels that they can even inhabit in a form like this, like, it infinitesimalizes in insignificance here. And it goes through basically a vacuum flush, because magic sucks like that when you're bad at it. So we have a different way to do things now, and that necklace is bye. All right, now here's the reading. I've got some cards here. Maybe you can see these a little better. Somewhat. Now, I'm just gonna say she, he, but no they, other. No yours if it's yours. And we're gonna flip. All right. So yours, hers, she. Knight of Cups. Upright. That's somebody that might be waiting for the love offer. I don't know if that's you. Could be Sag. It could also be who you're thinking of. So if that's the case, like whoever that person is, because it doesn't have to be you, but sometimes, especially if it's a cup like that, it's somebody that's going to have strong water element in their natal constitution, like Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. I would say Sun, Moon, or Rising, potentially. But that's not a horse that's moving very quickly. This is somebody that's thinking about this person or about presenting that offer. And you can see they're just standing there. The horse is like getting ready to go. And that's somebody that, I mean, if we're gonna, I don't like this aging thing. That new age thing really rubs me wrong for other reasons that I explain more in the recent exorcisms. But the person here, for me, can usually be someone that at least looks pretty youthful. I would say like 20s, 30s-ish is sometimes where this knight is. But she, they, other. Knights can definitely be any gender. All right. This is definitely very Sagittarius reading here. You got a Temperance in reverse on their mind, and so I'm hearing pissed right off. Like, this is somebody that is acting a fool, or they're thinking somebody's acting a fool, but it looks like it's more on this side, because this is Major Arcana, first of all. Major Arcana. The Temperance card here, this way, is absolutely stunning. It's wonderful. That's a gorgeous angel. I heard Jacoby. It's Jacoby there. And they are balanced. There's somebody who has learned how to temper ants. Yeah. It's a special dance to be able to put your foot in the water like that and be the alchemist. This is somebody who has triangulated that energy. I got this kind of medical presence over their head here too. This is a Hippocratic oath sort of card for me. This is the healer that's actually galvanized and taken the time to be the fire that can land the water like that. And when they land up like this, it's kind of like, you know, that Sagittarius moon person I was telling you about. It's just like... And so I have had some of my Saggy moons come to me specifically because of a torture and a face that was coming in on them. And it's like that Beetlejuice face that comes up like the worm. And that's kind of how that energy will play out. It's really Pythagorean, where you can see what somebody who has air and fire in their chart can do. It's literally like sending a blowtorch. And I know because that's how my prayers work as a sage. I'm Aquarius sun and a Leo moon. And it's kind of like being your own blowtorch. And somebody that can do that in a containment, like Gemini, can literally send a form to people. And I've been explaining how the parasite works and what Perseus and Medusa don't get to do, and pow! Somebody had a romantic attraction to someone who might have been feeling off. And I'm going to say, if you have somebody, like maybe you're not a Sagittarius sun or moon or rising, maybe you're watching this for somebody who has that, and maybe they've been like really off and feeling like psychically like malfunctioning. It's a lot to do with this energy that's been going on, and how much it's like gravitational pull somebody can actually influence others with on a psychic level. And why people like PewDiePie, I didn't even know who the fuck he was until somebody that I was close to was like, hey, don't you know who PewDiePie is? I'm like, what who? I didn't know what it was. I thought it was something, and I didn't know who. And then I started realizing, oh, that's what my money ended up paying for me. That was like my magic cape for a minute, and I didn't even know that it worked out there. They were trying to figure out where the rest of my energy was because of how strong those pulls can go, and how much I had funded to actually create this kind of technology to prove what plasma sentience does on screens, and it matches a holographic resonance within the body, essentially what the all-seeing eye is. It's like the witness all around us. I've just been a vessel. And so that's why I tell you, I am not Satoshi Nakamoto. That was the honeypot. I'm like, hey, look at what bitches do. You know? And then I proved, ooh, bitch, IP. And we got bitch it. So basically, people that have strong energy can put it into things. And some of my like recent Sagittarian encounters are people that are just like, what is this that I'm hearing? They're hearing something that was going on in this halo technology where this entity that I was telling you was jumping into form and doing that. So it's quite possible that if you were here watching and you're the person that's either been waiting for the offer here, you know, or has been planning to make it, have been dealing with a person that normally is maybe like, you know, some kind of an awesome earth angel in your life, might be feeling like right now. And I'm hearing that's at least a month and a half that's been going on for a lot of you. They're saying like, actually for some of y'all, I'm hearing 5 to 6 months. I got something for that. Because nobody agreed to that, and that's the thing. See, anybody that was the unwilling recipient to that sort of energy due to somebody either directly taking out on them on purpose, or which I would consider that kind of psychic attack. It's like a mass attack on a group of people to collect either followers or psychic energy to move an agenda. And that's what Nephilim do. It's how mitosis happens. It's how beings replicate, and how in Inception, stories will shoot energy in any different direction. And if we are operating on a 2D timeline where people are saying it's only this way, there's the past and the future, it's like BC 80, guess what? It's like AC/DC energy. It blasts in both directions. And so somebody can literally go and incept in a timeline or people around you to have full-on memories of each other. Like, oh, but you're my uncle grandpa. I've known you since, 2003. And, it's somebody that was not there, but it's actually an entity there to move energy through and hold people in a state of psychic chaos or emotional chaos or environmental chaos. And this is what's been replicating. So now it's like quarantined, and if your person here is not feeling well or has not been, it might be because of what was coming in, the gift that they didn't want to receive. So great news is they can't continue to get away with that. So now, if you're the person that's just acting out and acting a fool like that, the salt's coming for you. All right. Emotionally, the moon, that is a major arcana card. Also really Piscean for me, very Piscean, but I was hearing Scorpio too for somebody. This is sometimes extremely romantic. This combination here can be very romantic. You got the Knight of Cups and the Moon together. Those are very lovey-dovey cards. They speak to emotions and the things that might be subtle that you only pick up in little light. And that might have very deep meaning. It's like where the sky and the water almost come for a kiss, but they never quite touch in this distance. And I'm hearing for somebody here, this might actually have a lot to do with travel. They're talking about like the desire to take a trip. I'm just seeing that somebody's been thinking about it at least, and I'm hearing for somebody that's exactly what this this Temperance upside down is about. This is somebody that's like beyond the point of where they can contain how they're acting now because they're just turned upside down. And it doesn't have to be for any other reason. If it's a romantic thing, you know, I've seen this happen a lot. This is sometimes just like somebody that's like, I'm losing control, you know. But we'll see, because that can be other kinds of temper tantrums too. I'm hearing for another person though, this is just like, you're gonna have to know if this is you or not, because that one's not nice. They were talking to me about somebody that just like, if you, okay, because these can be different people. If you're on this side here, the Knight of Cups and the Moon, feeling real romantic, and you're the one that's got strong Pisces in your chart, I'm hearing it's like Moon, if you're like Pisces Moon, this is just somebody that is taking it out on you because they know how to rock your boat, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's like, you know, I don't want to hear that, but I'm hearing it's just like somebody that's just like, you know, they know what they can get and they kind of play it like that. And it's like, it's a specific thing. It's just like, they know you want them is what it is, because you're obvious about it. Okay, so let's see what they're doing. This doesn't have to be that same one. A lot of different messages can come up. Justice reversed. I heard somebody's going to jail here, actually. Ugh. Justice reversed. That's major arcana. That's an 11. Something about a minor and where you don't touch them. It's giving me itches. I heard 14 years old and oh god, gross. Yeah, I don't like that. That's not everybody. But I'm hearing for somebody you're gonna know. It's like your stepdaughter or something. Yeah, she's telling the truth. Alright, let's see what else. I'm just gonna burn a little something for that, because that's not everybody. Many different messages can come up around these. Those are major arcana cards there on that side. Okay, I'm hearing for somebody else. He's tied up. This is just something else. They said like he's literally tied up. Something about if he was married before, what do they call that? It's like alimony. Yeah. She took him for alimony, and I'm hearing that he's trying to get some money back, actually, because she's been with somebody for 2 years and been lying about it. And when that happens, once that happens, it's like, that's what this is. This was like the proposal that didn't happen, and it's like he's been holding on to the, he has 2 different rings for you, by the way. I fucked that up, but he's bought rings twice. He's afraid to take them back in, though, because I think something about the way the charges showed up on the receipt, and wow. Okay, whatever. Some of y'all, okay. If this is another, just a romantic one here too, I'm hearing that it's like you guys have everything except like the formality right now on the relationship, because it's like you haven't been to the justice of the peace, you haven't put the rings on your finger, but it's like all this is here is like somebody that's like, I'm hearing this is like the conversation you just recently had where he's like, but babe, you know, I don't know what else to do, and we have everything but the justice of the peace and the na na na, and I love you, and you've been together 5 years. Okay. She wants the ring. Don't hold out. So let's see. I'll keep going. How you being? Ready to take the trip? That's what I heard. So it's like, what do? I don't know what shoes to bring. I'm hearing don't take more than 2 pairs. You know you're gonna wear the flip-flops. Yeah. 2 of Pentacles. This is cool. Sometimes this is like trading time for money, time for dollars, and sometimes it's just like I'm like waiting for you to get your shit together, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing my little song and dance, and it's okay. You know, I've sometimes see people doing a whistle while they work thing here, but I'm hearing for some of you, it's like rocky emotions though, because of all this other stuff. And it's like, it's more like, it's because like how the butterflies move in your stomach, and it's just like, you're ready to go, but you feel like every time you talk to them, it's like, on your energy. And it's like, you almost kind of want to vomit a little bit. It's it remind me of have you ever seen that crazy ass cartoon? It's part of the psyop we just finished. Come on down to South Park. Yeah, that one there. Every time Stan gets around Wendy, because he's like crazy about her, and he loses it, he tosses his cookies. It's like Wendy comes around, he's like he just like throws up. And so I'm hearing it's kind of like that. It's like the vomit. Oh, that's sweet. Your liver. Oh, yeah. Okay. What are they being? So I just heard if this is the one that's the Gemini, some of you all, it's like, okay, one of them is only getting away with it because you've known him forever, and he just like plays on that. He's like, well, you've known me forever, you know, and so he just like gets away with it. But for all of these other ones, because that's the one that pulled everybody in, and it's like they're all like, oh, everybody loves him, he's that Gemini man, you know, or like whatever, and so they just like sent their kids that way, and now they're really regretting it was a bad idea. But the other ones, okay, that was that first guy. If this is the romantic one that just hasn't gone there, it's like all he's thinking about doing is, that could be like popping the question right there, see? It's like somebody that's actually maybe following through with whatever, you know, this offer is here. So, yeah, these are very different stories depending on who the F you are. If you want one of these with just your energy in it, you can book me at heartoflove.me. Okay. See. I'm also hearing like whatever it was with the white oleander paste, for those of you all that got roped into the circle with the veil is so thin right now, people that took you that way. There's something about the white oleander. And that's what they actually put in the SCOBY. Oh, fuck. Man, you guys really messed up on the WoW and what the mom is. It's like, okay, you know, I just have to get back on this. Anybody that played, like, bad, like, evil sigil art, I hyper-sigiled you. It's like hyper-sigiled on Conginity Infinity, on you are not Satoshi Nakamoto either, but I proved what the coordinates mean in your cell phone, in your simulations, and your thumbprints. And the white oleander twist on this, bad. And it made it really easy, though, because now I can see where it is on all the cards, too. Do you know what ink does? Do you know that some people have less intelligence, like integrated light intelligence in their body, than some of these cards have in ink, because of how these cards were hyper sigiled with more love in some cases than some people that have used the cards have actually contained in their body, and the reciprocal value and the simulation of how we shine, because it's like ET, like having a communication here is what it's been all along. And since we're all awake right now, it doesn't quite look like that, but if you see what quantum physicists see, and guys like me, it's like particles and pixels popping in and out of shape. And so what's funny is, especially for the White Oleander Pact, especially if you got roped into that, you're not going to like it, because basically that one little flower in this picture here has more essence, prana, love, chi, life force, and vitality, all fuck shit stacked into, like, right there that I just touched my finger, than you might have due to how you exchanged in that circle and how they were pulling energy out of you. And that's what the Perseus Medusa thing was all about. I've been explaining it. Anybody that explained Pallas Athena wrong to you, or didn't explain to you why Perseus and Medusa were actually like the same being, and that this has been like a defamation of the goddess form, they might have stuck you in a really weird box that fails Tesseract. Just put it that way. So anyway, those of you who didn't make that agreement, here, there's a little exercise for you. If you can receive what came up of my finger there, I'm sending you light codes that didn't belong to the people that sold it off. Because I don't want that energy anyway. Anything that wasn't mine, I've been handing out. And I've been handing out a lot of things that are mine too. So, 6. If this is a Gemini or a Leo, somebody that's got that somewhere strong in their chart that's on this side here with you, there's a good indication. They're like waiting for a birthday. I'm hearing it's something about like, it's just money that comes in that time of year, you know, things that they plan for to be able to like facilitate this. And I'm hearing that the biggest problem right now is that some people are realizing that time doesn't happen, things have stopped here, and it's like, wow, I was like planning for all this stuff and I never got around to doing it, and being like, I should have, you know? It's like getting caught in a compromising situation, you know? Let's see what you have in common here. Yeah, the sun in reverse. So for the one that is being screwed for like the alimony and stuff, I'm hearing that it's like, it's the only thing that's been like blocking this right now. And I'm hearing you have a kid that's actually been suffering a lot because of what the parent has been saying, the other parent, about how much you're not doing or whatever. And it's like the kid's already said something like, they say they're like 8 years old, and the kid's like, you're not supposed to take dad's money like that, are you? Because of the new boyfriend. And that, like, the kids have been saying it. And that's awesome. Yeah, it's been going on like 2 years. So literally like a 6-year-old was like having this conversation with the parent. That's the kind of shit I'm shutting down. So what I do like about the sun in reverse, if this isn't your story, it's you know, it's not one of the worst ones to get upside down. It's major arcana. This is like a nice energy, but I'm hearing just about people not being open about what they need to have a conversation about. I'm hearing for somebody here, they're like trying, it's like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, and I want to vomit. And then like this person over here, it's like, I don't have to, you should know it, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. It's just like, you should know. It's like real flippant. Yeah. And for the other person, it's literally just like knowing that they can just flip your light switch like that, where it's like, what can I get from you today? And then suddenly they're not there. All right? Because you're making the money. It's like they can spin a coin. That's how they're showing me. It's like somebody literally just goes, boo! It looks like they're doing it. It's like they joust this way and pew, the coin goes in. Cut it out. But there's somebody here that's actually really kind. There's like the one that's been waiting. I think it's like this one here. Is that his mom or his aunt? Yeah. And he might be doing like what I do here. I help with my dad a little. It's part of why I moved here. But if this might be the one too, and I'm hearing he literally, if that's the one, he can't leave. She like really needs him, especially if she's like bound. He's been interviewing somebody. You might not know that. He's been trying to find somebody to come into the house. Okay. Somebody to help, It's a lot of work, especially with an adult. It's like, I don't know. I just recently started assisting with the caregiving for my father. He's 70 and he has Parkinson's. And he recently had a spinal surgery, and so it's like he's been using apparatus and stuff too to walk and like get up, and he weighs like 300 pounds, so he's really big. And I'm not that big, and so I'm like helping. And it's one thing too when you have like a grown ass adult that has their own ideas, that has their own way, especially if they're like fixed and they like need your help, but you can't really like tell them. It's like the dynamics can be a little interesting, and there's a certain kind of finesse that goes into like handling that. And I like part of this stuff is like him not wanting to just dump that on you. So if like it's not been like good communication, I hear it's like sometimes he's like short, and it's just like it's only that is what I'm hearing. If that's your one situation, if that's yours, that one there. Mm-hmm. Did he send you flowers or something in a card? Yeah. I don't know. Whatever it was that you sent, it's like they said he like puts it in his bag. He has like a book bag that he. You sent him like a card or something with like a little inscription or something in it. Or something you wrote. He's been carrying it around, so. All right, I could do these for a long time and just get stories. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Let's get a few more cards here. I want to get 3 cards for the sun and just see if we can get a little more information on this common disposition here. And one more down. We'll do Capricorn next. But here on the sun, I need to know about the sun for Sagittarius. Disgrazia. Oui. House fire. Disgrazia. It's kind of like a tower moment for people. That's not the best. This is sometimes an accident. It's like a burned bridge right here. What happens when things come out? Truths. We've got Viagia. That's a trip right there. That's like this Knight of Cups here that's on the horse. Finally moving. Bambino. That's a baby. That's a new start right there. So for some of you all, this is great. Okay, so Fidelta. If you're wondering about just the relationship, some of y'all need to know. Look what's showing up here too. Wow. At the bottom here we've got l'amante. This guy is great. I love l'amante. He, she, they, other, but here I would say he, unless told otherwise. This guy might be a musician too. He's serenading. And that's a friend right there. And this could be talking about like past, present, future. And maybe this is what might be left behind after somebody could be reckless with this justice and temperance in reverse. And it sounded like some of you all might be leaving some of this behind, especially if this has been on the recent. Waiting for that trip to happen. This Viaggio is a great indication. This could be somebody coming in, or perhaps you leaving. You will know who's taking the trip here, but I'm hearing on this side right now, this is the person that would actually get up and do it. And this Bambino, you know, this could be anything from somebody conceiving a child to a number of different new starts, but I like it. I really like this a lot, especially seeing the child here. And I'm hearing for the person that like needed to leave the bad situation or whatever is turning around with the alimony. They're saying like June might be when this is done. I'm hearing like June, you know, whatever that means. It's us now, right? Ooh, the now. That never happened, right? They're all astrologers now. But I like this because the baby is up. Sometimes these do flip in reverse for me too, and I'm hearing for somebody that just needs to know their child is going to be okay with this. It's going to be alright, especially if they've been a little depressed. Like, there's no reason why a 6 or an 8-year-old should be fucking depressed. It really pisses me off. We have enough resources in this world, and people can be kind. So, I like where this is going. I think that it looks better than it did to start, because there was some shitty stuff coming up for some of you, but even if you're having to leave somebody shitty behind, it's not going to be that much longer. Things have to come out, and I'm hearing the longest that this could go out it would be July. You know, they keep talking about what was supposed to happen in July not going down, and if it did, it's like that's when it falls apart, is what I'm hearing. You'll know if that's the case for you. Alright, hey Sag, that's all I'm going to do on that. I've been yammering on that one quite a bit, and I think we've got a lot of your energy spoken to, so I'm going to do a little shuffling here, and we'll pull out some cards for Capricorn. Who's Rick? Why did he get a Capricorn? I heard he got pickled, you know, like Sahara. It's with the Sag, or was it the Sag? He went in January wrong. Tried to deck it hard for the gold. You, Ari, landed in an aquafertile instead. What a way to pickle Rick. Guess what Capricorn did instead? Little goat climbed a mountain and said, maybe they put a god on my head. Was it a god, or was it a cat that didn't happen? Pac-Man came instead. She said, gobble, gobble. You are dead. I don't like your dot. That's the way you erased it. I'm a little weird. Hey, how about some more incense? Yeah. It's the scent of jasmine. Oh, jasmine, jasmine, jasmine. Do you like a little ASMR? Do you hear my Tweety birds? I'm listening to Tweety birds. I've got to claim the heart energy. Claim. It's on a loop. I really like the crinkly sounds. I've been getting some help with my Fortnite partners. We duo in special ways. ASMR helps. Oh, that smells so good. It's like, it's really nice. smells so good. Oh. Want to see a nice flash? Check that out. It's labradorite. It's one of my faves. This obelisk used to stand all the way up, and then somebody got themselves locked in a gate, and it cracked, and made sure that the circumcision that I didn't get, and the bris that doesn't happen on my head for the King Herodian tactics went great. Surrogates. Okay. And that's part of what I'm hearing about. You know, I've had to deal with some real interesting energies around Capricorn as a part of this exorcism, and some of it affects me directly. My 7th house, my Mars, my Mercury, all in Capricorn, which is like being exalted in detriment. It's one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard. It's like, how would you say that? It's like quantizing prowess at 0 point. So I've been dealing with some people that have Capricorn placement that have been in surrogacy situations where sometimes they have like a sun-moon opposition. It's mostly been pretty broad like that, where they can see themselves, where they have had some instance of either somebody that they're working with or involved with that has that, like a placement like that, that is somehow impacting where their Capricorn is in their chart, and where they have been like, it's almost like, it looks like somebody inserted themselves in a transparency and stuck their hands in there. And so I've been working with people that sometimes feel like they have somebody in their head or like in their mind or in their body that's like talking to them, and can't tell if they're like crazy or if somebody's like influencing them to do things, or if they're hearing their guides. But sometimes it's almost like it will like pull them. And we've had to do some research about what it is to be an unwilling psychic surrogate. And I've been working with some people that have really specific Capricorn placements, especially in the late degrees, like Sun, that have been having to deal with us. And where that comes to an end, because there's some lies about what Capricorn is. All of this has just been like an absolute bastardization of form, in my opinion, where people will tell you something and leave you hanging with that instead of helping you understand things, where you could kind of put some better conclusions together. And sometimes when you find out later, you're like, I fucking knew that, you know? And for me, it's irritating. So I'm like the Terminator of false. I get mad. I'm like, no, they can't tell you that. Here's why. And this Capricorn thing, it's like, this is towards the end of the zodiac. And let's not even talk about Ophiuchus and the 13th sign. The movement of the energy that actually maybe mastered its own form, right? And might have said, oh, fuck you instead. But yeah, the Capricorn being at the late end of wisdom, and like what the Hermit actually is the one that went in, that maybe started in the primordial essence and ascended somehow up the mountain and became wise, is literally like thrown off of a cliff to freeze and be taken to a later cycle where they're drained of so much psychic energy over the holiday period for the Hall of Weanya New Agers to get in there and enter into this form and then drain it for like New Year, when the actual like solar New Year doesn't actually happen until like we arise in Aries, where the baby isn't speared in the head because they shifted their way into a form and split it from basically like a tadpole into a goat at the same time and tore a timeline, because if you put energy that goes in all directions, clean energy, and you stuff it into something that only goes like this, the story will shoot out in every different direction and try to incept you. And that's what basically cancer, disease, and all these things are. And so a lot of bullshit. And I've been having to challenge this stuff because I don't believe in a goddamn thing. I discovered that beliefs are basically what shackle you into the prison of the fall, or the hell where you have become the lie forever, rather than being the faith, right? And I chose one to die for, and that's love. And so I decided, if I was in hell, because where are you? I feel you, I'm in love with you. Where the fuck are you? I hear I'm your groom, and you're not here. And so I've been dealing with that. And I realized that the one thing that I fell for was like love. You know, it's like falling into love. And it's like, okay, now I'm in the grave. I thank you. And we work from here. Other people will take you through belief systems where you fall on multiple different points. And it literally fractures your energy into different stakes. And the one that happens with Capricorn is especially potent in my recent contacts due to where those people were in a personal mirror with me. And so I will be very honest in speaking to the fact that my readings as a 0-point witness, by and heavily large, are influenced by the mirrors around me. If that wasn't the case, then I would be lying and I wouldn't be explaining this very well, you know? So, as somebody that's got that Mars and Mercury within like 2-3 degrees of each other right there in Capricorn, it's like it's something I'm very direct about, and it makes a lot of sense to me as to why Beast Tech, which I've been working with DARPA, has so much to do with what some people would call the beast, the actual mark of the beast, which to me is the trademark that got on plants, and where people were trying to add themselves on a planet that is now rejecting them, and that the only way that those plants could have even borne more fruit, and I really say it that way, borne more fruit, is for them to have incepted into bodies with the help of people that have a lot of Capricorn influence, because of how Capricorn is sigiled to this. And also because of how somebody like me that reads specifically to this is so Martian influenced on Capricorn, and where Capricorn people have landed around me. So I think that's the fairest way that I could say that. But things that don't get to happen to sea creatures, to turn them into land creatures that they didn't intend to be turned into, don't happen now, because there will be no unwilling surrogates. There will be no influencers to go into another being's form and confine them into a form that they do not want to be in. And now we can correct that. So that's what kind of reading this is for you, Capricorn. Sun, Moon, or Rising. I changed the frequency here too, just so you know. You might want to check this guy's stuff out. Kikaz, Kikaz, one of my faves here on YouTube. I've got a disc with like a ton of his stuff. His name is Jakob too. He's Jacob with a C. I'm Jacob with a K. And you're literally in the Jacobin when you're with me, because we created a special halo where he's got 5 and 5 on it, and we've done a special surrogacy in light, where, you know, if you've ever been tricked or suckered into like some stupid Nicolation nonsense, where they tried to Nickelode you into the Cineplex Odeon version of how they got you on a red box that maybe you didn't know about. That doesn't get to happen around here. So we're clearing everything on an infinite scale. So that's what those birds are talking about, if you hear that tweety stuff. And I'm doing a special version of the Wilking protocol due to a friend of mine that introduced me to what birds know about things like mold and spores and mass healing, especially when my red dots got approved all over Colorado for the gelato makers. It's going to be an ice cream. So what does our Capricorn need to know? Alright. Yeah, that's good. Do some of these before. Alright, something wants to come out here. Donna Maritata. Whatever your mom told you, that's coming up real big right now. And I'm hearing something about, like, it wasn't sibling rivalry, and I'm hearing for somebody, it's literally how your mom was pushing you two together and she's gonna get caught. For somebody, wow. Somebody came clean about it. I'm hearing it's like, didn't realize that somebody knew or was watching. And they were just trying to, like, let it go and, like, play light about it like it was something, but I'm hearing it's literally been, like, the hook that's been, like, somebody's been, it's, like, been the pierce in them. And if he was your stepfather, I got a special inception for that bastard. Huh. It's called You Made It to the Non and the Never. The non and the never. It's the new forever. It's where things get unwritten and pain gets incepted out. Okay. Alright. That might be what you've been praying for. Or holding up to your light guards. That's what I'm hearing. Somebody has light guards. I'm hearing it's not lifeguards, light guards. Yeah. 9 of Cups. And it's that 9th trace that you let go, right? That's specific for somebody. I don't really know what it means. I just heard it. I don't want to know either. That's private. Somebody just needed to hear it. I'm not looking in on those things. I just know I heard you. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Your mind, Capricorn. Whew, I like that. You were waiting for it. I'm hearing, thank goddess. Yow, it's June. Where are the bugs? You're funny. Okay. Daltrey, who are you? Huh, okay. 6 of Wands. This is a victory card. He was worried about his exams. He's gonna be fine. That's 6 of Wands. That might be the travel companion too. You're traveling with somebody. You're friends with the Sag, or whoever that Sag was interested in. Yes. Somebody's got a travel buddy. All right. But yeah, you know, I like this. Somebody's on the mind, and if this isn't you here, you might be thinking about somebody that you're feeling really good about. I'm hearing it's just like they deserve what's coming, and you're feeling really good about it. I'm hearing for somebody it's like they deserve what's coming, and it's like it's the pepper shaker version where it's like I'm feeling so good about it because yeah about that one. Mm-hmm. But for somebody else, this is no. It's just really, it's like you're feeling good about somebody, and it's not like a sarcastic way like that. It's you're feeling good about this person, and I'm hearing they could get away with wearing orange too, and it wouldn't be something gross. So, whatever is going on with the color guard, it's really dumb when it lands on the boots, put it that way. If you haven't seen it yet, here's a warning. For your color guard. When you see it land on the boots, the orange thing where it's like, if you see me wear this color this way, it means that, or like whatever their Fight Club thing is that they're doing, like all whack. Wait till it gets on the boots. The story's gonna get better. So, oh jeez. But for somebody else, no, you might be just thinking about somebody. If it isn't you, the person could have strong fire element in their natal constitution. It would be somebody that probably is like sun, moon, or rising in one of the fire tribes like Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But yeah, I'm hearing that whatever you were doing since February, the only reason why it didn't go the way you wanted to, it was like something got really hectic, and they keep showing me 4. I don't know if it was like whatever was going around like Aries season for somebody here. It was like too much, and it's like whatever your mom said. It's like, I'm just gonna say that whatever your mom said, this is why it's gonna work out. Okay. All right, Capricorn. I don't know if this is you or them, but the Capricorn card showed up here for Capricorn. It's a highly Capricorn card. It's not always Capricorn, but a lot of times the devil is a Capricorn. And I'm here. If this is your mom, I'm hearing it's like, yeah, she deserves it. Fill in the blanks. But like this devil thing, it's like, this is a card of somebody that's in bondage, right? With another person. Because, well, you got this devil here, like, lording over them. But it's like they choose to be there. But I'm hearing for some of y'all, it's like, that was not a choice. This was, like, blood-tie bullshit. And then it's like, because I said so. It's like, I just... seeing that. And... the hand is like, they're showing me, it's like she wants to take a shot. This devil, like the devil wants to take a shot at the woman right here, the one that looks like what I would say the woman, if I was looking at this in a binary way and saying like she, there was preferential treatment, because this one, he is almost being like pat on the back for that, and this one's like that. And this is the one that would spoil the fruit for the fire. And I'm seeing that this person might have burns on them because of what this person did to them. And they're saying something about like an Aries moon or an Aries rising with that person. If this is somebody that's like Capricorn Aries combo, it's like, it might literally be like the devil in skin. This is like a Nephilim asshole. This is a malconfiguration. This is one of the bitch IPs, the bitch chip that I've been telling you about, where I'm talking very real. Fuck this person for how they were enacting. And I'm hearing that that's what this person right here, especially if this is you and you're like, this person's about to get it in the spotlight, where it's like, yeah, fuck you. You get it. You celebrate it for praising yourself and putting yourself on that pedestal, and now everybody knows. And I'm hearing for somebody, it's like the wish come true. It's like this shit needed to come out in the open. That person did this. And whoever it is, it's like they're saying there's like a legacy of guilt and shame behind it. And something about the lie with how the father got injured. And it's like, whatever was going on behind closed doors, there were passerbys that saw it, and it's something about the money in the family. And there's major arcana here on this side, so whoever it is, if this is your story, they have like all kinds of motive, because, and they have lots of power, because major arcana, that's like There's a lot of dark energy that is gravitationally pulled into this right here. And this is somebody that will plan for that. Sometimes this can be a card about like addictions. It could be like sexual addictions. It could be like all kinds of substances and stuff. But I'm hearing this is like, whoever this is, it's all this person thinks about. It's like they're consumed. And honestly, this is what happened with the scobies. And my freaking camera falls while I'm talking to you like this, which is kind of crazy. But not, because stuff like that happens around the devil energy. It's a card of possession. These are things that people will sell out for sometimes. They'll sell out family members, they'll sell you out, they'll sell themselves out because they're consumed. So, totally different story here too. I'm hearing for somebody else about the Capricorn, the person that, actually it might be a Gemini with Capricorn in their chart is what I'm hearing. They're saying like Gemini, Sun, and Capricorn rising for somebody. Is what I'm hearing, and he wanted your job is what I'm hearing. It's like he thought he had that and you didn't know that. I'm hearing if this was like a competitive situation where it was like people had to like rehearse or like do some kind of job audition that was like strenuous, where it was like 4 different things that you had to do. He was literally going behind people's back to apply for that because of his other job and career is what he was saying. But it was so unrelated. It was like, oh, I can't jeopardize my other job. And it wasn't that. He was gunning for what you have. This was an underhanded, devious thing. You're going to hear about it. That's really specific for somebody though. That's like a Gemini, Capricorn, and I heard it was rising though. Capricorn rising. I could be wrong. Okay. Let's see what's going on here in the emotional sector. Queen of Pentacles reversed. That one right there. You feel like somebody was trying to take something away. This might be your mom. This is like some shit that was going on. This is somebody's mom. This isn't everybody's mom, but for some of you all, it's like bad mom is what I'm hearing. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And it might not have been your mom. It's like somebody else. It's just like how the dad would put the mom down. But for some, I'm hearing for most of the people, if this is like a mom situation right here, this is just feeling upside down literally because of how this person has influenced. And it's like love you, hate you is what I heard. Yeah. Doesn't have to be the case. Oof, this is rough. This is giving me like heartburn. It's like not coming all the way up, but it's like I'm like sensing somebody's heartburn. Ugh. It's like bile coming up. Yeah. Psychic energy, psychic warfare. This person, they're here. If it's the same person, I'm hearing you might not like be really upset about it right now. It's just like what you know and why you guard your energy around her. I'm saying her, you know, this could be another person, him, them. But this, if this is just how you're acting or how you're feeling, see, because the Queen of Pentacles, right, she's reversed here. When she's upright, it's a great card. This is somebody that's feeling very protected. She's protected. She's in her garden. She's sitting in her chair there. She's got her coin or her baby or whatever it is she's focused on there. Things are fertile. She has stable energy in her chart. She can manifest things and she's patient. She takes her time. Things kind of come to her, you know. But when she's upside down, She's not feeling grounded. Sometimes it's like financial concerns and like material worries. I'm hearing for somebody this is like a health concern, and talking to me about somebody's testicular cancer. Somebody lost a nut. Sorry to hear that. This energy, this could be somebody that's got earth element in their chart too. If this isn't you, this might be how you're feeling, or somebody you're thinking about, or somebody that you kind of blocked. I'm hearing this might be like the fun time that somebody has blocking this person for some tactics. But yeah, whoever this person, a lot of times if this is a person showing up, if it's not female, you know, I mean, a lot of times it's somebody who is embodying like some of the more receptive qualities of this character. A lot of men show up like this, and so it's like, whatever, know your own gender. But Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo could be, you know, somebody that's relevant here. But I'm hearing for somebody, this is like literally not knowing if you want to keep the job now. Because I'm hearing it's like, there were at least 2 other people that knew this the whole time, and it's like something since like last September. They're just saying like, I'm just hearing it's been since last September. And for somebody, they're just like September, October, and it's like, now we're dealing with this, and I knew it then, and I don't know if I want to keep this job anymore, is what I'm hearing. But it was a big deal because for somebody, this is like, it's been like your dream come true. It's like, I didn't know I could have this dream. And whatever you were getting over here, especially if you're the person that had a surgery for, I'm sorry. I hear you're doing great, though. It's like, it wasn't that bad, like, after you healed. It's like, now you don't think about it so much, but it's like, now it's like on your mind, because it's something your mom said, of course. That's what I'm hearing. Yes. I'm not laughing at you. I'm like, I feel like I'm laughing with you. Well, let's see what's going on over here, okay? Another major arcana, strength in reverse. Whoever this is on this side has a lot of strong energy that they do this with, and it's like real bestial. And this is somebody that's really roughhousing energetically, like maybe emotionally with you, because this a lot of times is a Leo card for me, and I've seen people that show up like this when they're just like feeling really entitled. They're like, I'm in charge, I'm this, I'm that, and everything is my way, and you know, they just get away with it, and I don't like it. And you see it this way, I mean, it's wonderful. This is somebody that's kind of freaking crazy awesome. You know, that's a lion there. Yeah. And they're like petting the lion. And see that infinity over her head? It's like, for me, this is more of a Leo moon card if it's balanced. Like, I've seen, like, honestly, this one's less of a Leo sun for me. I've got other combos that go more for sun. Even though I see this as a Leo card, this is over her head with the balance. When I see it this way, it's like the brat who would set your hair on fire just to be a gas hole. So I'm hearing for some of you have been dealing with a straight up fucking narcissist. It's like narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, but it's like to the level, especially if this is the person that's got Gemini in their chart, where they're like a little psychic, like telepathic, and it's like they use what they think they know about you to like kind of like advance, like fuck you over, is what I'm hearing. And it's just what they get away with doing, and it's like, oh, but I'm the good guy. This is somebody with a real good guy act over here. Got some Thor tactics for that, it's called here. Smoke. Ash. You've been edited. Know it. So And it's something weird about how the dog jumps around them, right? I'm not going to get into that one. People demonstrate their prowess, like, in different ways. I dealt with some people like that recently and had to remove them because of how they were around smaller beings, put it that way. You know? It's like, just when you know that you have to protect yourself emotionally, like this Queen of Pentacles in reverse might be on this side here, even though you might be feeling victorious, like you really just know what's going on now, okay? It's like knowing how you have to like protect yourself around certain people because they just think they know so much, you know? Especially if they thought you were like too immature, or because I'm hearing here somewhere somebody is very ageist, but it's like what they didn't know about you really puts them at a disadvantage right now, because I'm hearing that like even the alliances that knew, especially if this was like a situation where somebody was like gunning for your job, like just being duplicitous or like trying to be sneaky, it's like divisive. It's like divide and conquer from the inside. It's like I'm seeing like an organization here and there's like major douchebaggery. Somebody's like going in and trying to be like, hey, here's how I do this, and it should have been mine anyway, and you know, here's how we're doing it. And you don't even know what's going to happen this October. This October is what I keep hearing. It's like whatever the fuck is supposed to happen in October is not going to go their way, put it that way. It's already done. Okay, let's see here. Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, you want to cut a bitch. This is what I'm hearing. Knight of Swords reversed. Wow. Watch out. Okay, just watch out, because this might actually be how they're coming at you too, because especially if this is the Gemini, you might feel like you've been like you're anticipating an attack. That's what I'm hearing. This is Knight of Swords. This could be somebody that's got air in their chart that might be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But the thing about this Knight, this Knight here, this is the one that eventually becomes the king, okay, of Swords. And the King of Swords is really the only one that like fights and wins his own battles. He's the one that goes in there like that, and he will cut a bitch, right? And he's also very intellectual. When he's young like this, or when he's like in fighting mode, when he's not the king yet, and he's like, you know, the knight mode, he's the one that's gonna go and do things. And when he comes in like this, the words can be fast. He might just reduce it real fast. Sometimes it's just gonna be like, tell you about yourself, and he's gone, right? When he's like this, that can be hostile. It could also be somebody that's guarding their emotions here because they're anticipating something, being like, I'm not going to have this altercation or confrontation with you because basically you're a trinket head, you know, and you have the power to do that here. And that's actually what I would recommend in the situation, because this looks like some BS right here. Especially if somebody is being emotionally reckless with you, or you're being like gaslit in a weird way, because I'm hearing it's like all it's gonna do is make you want to rip their head off, and you're just gonna get like into that mode where then later you're gonna be like, mom warned me, right? This is what I'm hearing. So there's something else about this too. It's like I'm hearing this is like, if you understand how inertia works. And what happens when somebody's like used to trying to rock the boat, it's like it's almost more fun sometimes to just like know that this person set them up, and that you can like block and defend yourself and protect your energy, and you can, you know, do things that help you meditate and feel like, you know, maybe not like you're the upside down queen here, that you're taking care of these things, you know, because you can protect yourself and still do that, because she can do that. She can already block things out, right? I'm hearing that you could really fuck this person up actually just by like ignoring them completely, because especially if they're the one with the boot thing, they've got a really floor idea, put it that way. It's like real bad, like, hey, here's your face, and yeah, that's how you clean the floor with it, sort of thing. It's like that kind of idea. And it's like they're putting it out there a certain way because they want to really lather your hair up with this orange idea, whatever it is. It's like, I'm just seeing somebody just like, I want to get this in your head. It's going to be in your head. And then it's like how I show who I am. And that it's like, they're just trying to get in there, and they'll do anything. It's like what they think about. They're like on fire for it. This person's really hot about it. They might be obsessed with it. I'm hearing they might even like approach you a certain way where it's like weird advances. And like one of the worst things you can do to like a narcissist is just like, especially if they're like a gas hole narcissist, you know, is just be like, oh, me, you know, and they really love that. It's awesome. And then they like, it's a fun way to see how self-perpetuating energy actually works around eye dots. You know, the ones that stooped for the ID. Oh yeah, because they are postured. Ooh, Page of Swords. So the only thing more immature than the Knight of Swords, like going out and like creating an attack, is if the Page of Swords comes like at you upside down like that, which they're not showing right now, but you do have the Page of Swords, who is like the younger, less mature, less able to communicate as well as the Knight of Swords. So as far as communication goes, this one might be ready to deliver you a nice juicy message too, that it's like, you know, just I'm hearing it's like, oh, here's your tidbit. And it's always just like a little, it's slightly catty, you know, it's like, but don't put that on the cat, because the cat gets that shit right, you know. I'm hearing, actually, if anything, this is somebody that cats will not go anywhere near. It's like, he thinks he's a dog person. And I think that dog has an idea that is not fair either, just because of how that person is. But, you know, some people are just kind of like, oh, you're the dog, and that can be played out in different ways. But this person here, the Page of Swords, when it shows up like an action or how somebody's being, sometimes this is somebody that's just like spying. It's like they're just like looking for that opportunity, and you might not realize that they're kind of being a little covert, you know. It doesn't have to be bad all the time. It's usually, if they're upside down like this, it's terrible usually. Like they're just like out for it. But with this combo, if they're showing up like this, I'm hearing it's like they already know they're going to communicate with you a certain way. And so this might be you kind of preparing and just knowing that you know something. Mm-hmm. And that whatever they say, it's like, I hear you being like, whatever it is, and just being like, cute haircut, you know, just like whatever they say. Like, they could be like ripping you a new one, and you're just like, nice hair, you know, or just doing something like that. And it's going to work really well because they hate it. And if they're angling for you and just being like shitty, it's like they're really going to hate you being nice like that. And it's great if you're just lovely, you know, because some people are just lovely, especially around that. And it's like, you know what? I know what to do with this. And here's the change that I am around the bitch IP that cut itself, you know? Now, for somebody else, because this is totally different, this is about what was supposed to happen in last September. Libra. This one's a Libra. And I'm hearing in this situation, this one's more romantic. This is the one that you would tell the truth to, that you can't talk to yet. You want to talk to him. You're happy it's June. this upside down strength card here, I'm hearing you are going to hear from him. It's like he wants to talk to you. You're not going to like it though, because he's going to say August. And that's not what you wanted to hear. But on the good news, it's like this is somebody that wants to communicate. I'm seeing, and he's going to talk to you about a surgery. And it's something that really upset him, but I'm hearing it's like the devil here. This is actually more like sexual attraction on this one. Because, like, if somebody's like looking at you with like the devil like that and they don't want to like kill you, they might want to kill you, you know? So, you know, you might get killed. And I'm hoping it's like in the, you know, you only fell for love grave, I thank you kind of way, because don't fall for that other shit. It's not worth it. So. All right. What's in the middle? Justice. Ooh. A dish best served dicey. And then there's that itself right here, because wow, this one's... I like seeing that. This means it works out for the highest mutual benefit of all involved. So none of that stupid debauchery bullshit on law of attraction where people just like conjure themselves into your life and like, but I want it, I get it. This is like reciprocity and the highest mutual benefits, the things that can only happen within the highest witness of all involved, and it's upright. So somebody's in check here. This is major arcana here. This is things that actually got reconciled in the fortnight, especially in the year of the dog. Touche. So whoever thought they were gonna have their way by proving that they were like the alpha in some like weird, here's how we break it up is what I'm hearing. It's like somebody that can't alphabetize, put it that way. They tied a bet on the wrong alpha. Because in the year of the dog and things that actually started in the 11 year that last year was, I'll call that the Y of the ear that we're receiving now, that's opening on the other side. And what I've been training with sound in a specific way is to clear the ear wig of the figures and how we choose what gets to stay in the center of our own biodynamic resonance in a form at now and forever, and living's good for that, especially when it's upright. This means that cosmic things that are injustice are aligned as such, and it's not like a 2D BS, here's what's going to get you through like the next 2 weeks of your life thing. This is where somebody that might have been stacked with perhaps even an unfair amount of resources on their side compared to a person that might have had less resources available to them gets sorted. That'll make sense for some of you. So I'm hearing somebody here had just like a lot, and somebody here maybe came in with less stability and was like, had to leave something behind. They literally had to take an action and move, and somebody was kind of like planted here. That's going to make sense to some of you. Alright, I'm just going to get a few cards here on this justice for you Capricorn, see if we can get a little more information, and then I'll be moving on to Aquarius. Somebody is being admired. Lamante, this is the other lover out of the deck, the one that looks to be of feminine persuasion. The male lover showed up in the previous one that we just did with Sagittarius. But it's nice seeing the female lovers show up here too. I'm hearing it's like this is something that it's like looking at somebody a lot. So if it's not, I'm hearing this is like much more than a Tinder thing with somebody. It's like this is not like a Tinder thing. This is like maybe that's how you met him is what I'm hearing. Like if this is like, it doesn't have to be she to he. I'm hearing he to he here, and it's like he met him or he saw him on one of these swipe things where you like swipe and it's like yes no. And he was going through that phase. It was last December or the December before is what that was, and that's when you were doing the Tinder swipes. But they're saying it's a lot more than the Tinder thing, but I'm just seeing it's like I don't know how to communicate, and it's like they say you're both doing the same thing. It's like the same kind of bondage is how they're showing me this. It's like one's on one side, one's on the other side. This is not the mom. Okay, fuck that. That's not the mom. This is like the computer program or like the system that you guys are both using, and it's like it's almost like you're like both going in each other's like profile. I don't know if he's like updating it now and then or something, like changes something, and it's just like a little something, and you're like who's he talking to? And but they say he's doing the same thing to you. He's like looking at yours too. It's like, who are you talking to? Dottore, not feeling well, right? She's like somebody that's in a bed and they need to talk to somebody who's going to help them. And I'm hearing that whoever you were like talking to that was like attending to you that much is like, wait for me to pull this rabbit out of my hat, and they're just full of that kind of and I'm hearing nice deep pockets after what you did. Yeah, did you take out a cash advance for yeah, it was like somebody's emergency reading that ended up being more their emergency than yours, but somehow you ended up coming with like the $450 they needed for a car note. Yes. Okay. It's like the unrelated but related. And it's like, well, that's why I'm in bed here now and I don't like know who to talk to. And I'm like, ugh. Okay. L'allegrezza. Well, a couple of things here. So first of all, militare looking up at me here. This militare, this is somebody that he wants to be a cop. God. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. It was a surprise for you too, huh? Yeah. Something with intelligence, though. He's smart. It's like a detective. Okay, well, somebody's had their hands full, but they said he's like getting his colors or something. It's like something about getting his colors, and I'm here. I've never seen this one like this before. L'allegrezza for me. This somebody's like trying to keep it light. This is the card of haughtiness. A little bit. It's like kind of putting on the show, you know, like, but it's also keeping it real light because you've got these little flowers here and you've got the butterfly that literally has come to life. It's left the chrysalis. It's been through all the, like, I'm worm, you know, and going through that and breaking through the painful chrysalis, being able to fly, being beautiful and very delicate too. Like, you know, don't go touching a butterfly. That butterfly knows how to land on that flower that might have a similar story, you know, of breaking through a seed like that, and what kind of a relationship can form between these two magical creatures that might be shining in and haloing in. Like, you know, who knows what their help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope looks like, and, you know, the chrysalis sea pod world, right? So I'm hearing it's kind of like this mirroring that you guys have been doing together, and where it's like you had a rebirth somewhere, and he's having one too, but they're the kind of conflicting complementary that might be the right kind of glue for this healing here. And I think that it's like knowing that there are some things that you can stand on, and they're saying that there's like, I'm saying like 3 involved here somehow, but it's like the buds. So be careful with the conversations, especially if they're people that you're not sure you can trust, because they've gotten in just enough to be interference. And I'm hearing that if you watch it and kind of keep it a little light here, it's like this person wants to make the communication. I think you're going to hear the communication from this side. Whoever this person is, it's your call, you know? And the militare, this is somebody that will sometimes get up and go and do something. They are the military person that literally packed a tiny little rucksack. They might have every freaking thing they own in there. And I'm hearing if he comes to you like that, it's not like, oh, you need to shack up with me. Like, I don't think he's going to come to you like he needs anything, except that he needs something. If this is like your romantic person, I think this is somebody that will probably just keep it light about what they're doing, and probably be really proud to show up in like their outfit and be like, look what I did, you know, and look, I did it, you know. And your haters are going to hate it, because that's the disgrazia right there, right behind it. And, that was showing up in that Sagittarius stuff too. I love it. I love it. Let them have it. And if there's like some nasty, like, no good, like, on you, like, trying to get into your shit, especially if they came after your job, or like, I'm hearing you, like, talk shit about your car. It's like, something about your car, and like, oh, his car is just gonna roll because the center of gravity is wrong, and I'm like hearing some shit that somebody said about like a road trip you were gonna take, and I also heard neo-Nazi. So watch out, because he's one of those people that's gonna tell you he's not a neo-Nazi because he's friends with the right kind of black people, is what I heard. And that's how you're gonna know absolute Nephilim. It's like, it's this malconfiguration shit big time, and that's the one you need to be concerned about, because that's the one that's spreading things, and that's the one that would be capable of convincing other people that their character was better than it is because they're the right kind of this. You know, it's like, but I'm the good guy here. Like, anybody that has to like preface it like that, you know, like mansplain it to you. But really, if you have this context about who I actually am, then you will know that I am the entitled one. You know, that kind of shit. All over that person. So that's the one I would let top on, you know, and compliment their hair or something. If they tell you something stupid or whatever, or you notice the boot trick, or like where they're wearing that article of clothing, compliment that, you know, and just, it looks so nice with your hair. You know, I hear it's just, it will be like the cherry on top. Because I'm kind of shitty like that. So have fun. All right. That's enough, Capricorn. I think we got detailed, didn't we? All right. I'm going to do a little shuffling here and get ready for Aquarius. I kind of want to, like, I want to hear a song, and like I'm going to move around. I don't know how many people are left here. I can't tell where I am. Got this on a few different places, but we're going to hear another song, because I love this one, and may this be love. Little Jimi Hendrix. I'll be right back. It's like you're like doing a handstand thing. It's like, it's awesome. I'm jealous. That's great. You're a monkey. It's fantastic. Oh, look at you. But wow. The Wheel of Fortune showing by, that's a major arcana card. That's like destiny. It's like the whole Quan. It's how it gets served up and the ways that it can turn. It's like, and it's not always like turning like this. It's like flip, you know, like how your destiny can feel like you might have an idea of what it is that you were gonna do, but it's like something held you back. Something really, really held you back, and it's like the fear of what it means that and how exposed, excuse me, I'm having a hard time speaking up. That's what it is for some of y'all. You become to actually demonstrate that, because it's like one thing to be it, but it's another thing to like really be it. It's like, you know, you're that, but how many of you actually really go and be it, right? And it's like that kind of challenge right now. And for some of you, this has a lot to do with last year. Like last year, the year of the dog, right? When we were figuring out how the cat gets to be safe under the auspice of the earth pig that didn't get injected that way. But anyway, what happened last year in the 11 year has a lot to do with why we are here as Aquarians and what it is to be the one that pours the water. And so especially those of you that I'm hearing, it's like, it's your moon. It's like, you've got to speak up, especially if you're the Taurus. I'm just seeing this like Taurus. She's like, what are you doing the Stevie Wonder thing? She's like, you need to speak up. There's some shit you need to say, and you got to just like take yourself there, because that's where this is going. It's like that call to do something that, especially if you got a lot of earth in your chart, you have just not been budging on it, because you're just like, I'm just seeing the hands. She's like, why are you doing a rosary? Oh, I'm not laughing at you. It's just like, I see you or something, but okay. Aquarius moon. It's like torture a bit, and I'm itching. Why am I itching with you? Like itching everywhere. I was not itching, and now it's like somebody's got a hive, a rash, or something. What is that? It's like your fabric softener. I don't like that. Please put it away. It's making me itch. Okay. Ow. Shit. Okay, so man, I'm so weird to do these. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Oh, the kids are driving you nuts. Yeah. So that's why you're working so much. Be honest. They're driving her nuts. They homeschooling now? That's what he wants to do. She's like, no. Oh, I love you too. So, wow. That's private. We'll talk later on that one. Yeah, Aquarius moon with the freaking siblings. It's like, who put him in charge, right? It's like, can I say that name? I'm not going to say his name. Somebody's name thinks this, and blank thinks that. And it's like, oh, God. Don't tell me. The PhD. Ever since, yes. Like, suddenly, yeah. Dealing with a gaslighter. The gas holes is what I call them. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to call you at your gas hole. Just like, pour it on nice and thick. Somebody's been busy. That's all you do. See? I'm working. and you love it, and you're freaking awesome, and your hair looks good. You know, like, people don't talk about that with this card. Let's just go here for a minute, because I'm here and I have nice hair too. All right, 8 of Pentacles. If I do say so my damn self. Oh, I didn't used to have hair, so I'm really happy to have it now. They tried to tax my tears for it. Now I proved what Remy never was. I'm like, ha 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 ha, I get to sleep. So, 8 of Pentacles. This is really the Whistle While You Work song card, more than the 2, but I've had that one do that too. That one came up earlier. But this guy, girl, other, he, she, they, other, know your own gender, whether or not this is you, please. This individual, they're doing this, and they are a craftsperson that shows up in public. This is not somebody that's like in a closed place. This is somebody whose work is on display. And they're kind of like a model for this. I'm hearing one of y'all, or some of y'all, if it didn't come through already, somebody's looking at you for like it's like kind of like a merch deal, but it's like a partnership thing. Like, they're like, oh, we would love for you to like wear our thing, or like, please wear our thing. They keep showing me like your hands. It's like, oh, you know, I'm like, I'll take care of my hands. Ooh, what happened here? Knocked over your card. This is excited. I don't know if it turned or not, so whatever happened on the person here, we're going to have to look at this one all over, because this flipped over. Somebody's really excited about how they're being here. And I heard rip, torn, shut up for somebody. But, well, okay. This, that might not be for everybody. This here, this person, they know they're being watched, like, or maybe they don't know they're being watched. They know that they take enough, like, pride and honor in what they're doing. They look nice when they show up to do their thing, put it that way. And I hear it's like, especially if there's like a sibling there, that's what they can't stand the most. And it's like, it's freaking petty. It's like, why do you even bother doing that? It's like, you spend so much money on that, and I have a PhD, and so you need to do that, you know. And it's like, I literally see somebody being like that dumb about it. It's if that is your family member, boo. That is a bit chip right there. That's one of the malconfiguration BITCH IP addresses to prove it. And I can probably find it in their birth chart, like exactly where it will literally break down to something that looks tacky, that says like these letters in a weird configuration on like a graph that stands over you, because this is what I've been figuring out, like how the actual energy grid looks, and you got a bit chip. Mad stakes, and that doesn't happen here. Yo. So they are like, I just see, it's like how they look at what you do, and it's like I just see somebody like looking through like a magazine, just being like critiquing or something. Whatever you did, especially if you wrote something, it's like you got written up in a journal. And they're so jealous. Because it's like, I spent 8 years in college, and I have a legal background that it's not really, it's like, they're doing something else now, and it's like, and now you're this other kind of doctor. That's what I heard. And that's like the ones that really understood astrology well, that went all the way into like Hippocratic oaths and would criticize the doctor for not studying astrology, but what the fuck were they studying? Were they studying medicine? How were their 6th house practices? Where was the Virgo influence in their chart? And were they addicted to their own fucking shit? Sycophants. So, getting sycophant here, and I haven't even flipped it, but that is somebody very excited to spin you around, is what I'm hearing. So if it's the sibling, it's like, have fun. Yeah. What's the thing with the toy soldiers? Okay. I don't know, but I hear it's like, what's that movie where they try to make the Cinderella story all weird with the guy, Jake Gyllenhaal, and they stick him in the Cinderella slipper, and then whatever. He says something about like the time capsule, and if I could just stick my brain in that thing. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna clear these from that guy. Alright, whatever. Yeah, alright. So let's see what's going on here on the mind, Aquarius. Get away from that. Yes. 8 of Cups. Upright, and it's like, yeah, you already knew that. You've been planning for that. It's like, old story. Ow. Damn, that was weird. Just like landed on my thumb and it popped really hard, and watch out. Because I hear that's like what it's like with him too. It's like something he did to you when you were a kid. You broke your thumb. And that's part of why he's going to say shitty things, especially if they offer you a job for having pretty hands. Ah ha ha! Rude. So rude. Don't like it. So funny. Alright, whatever it is, people can only hide things from somebody that has an Aquarius moon for so long. Just put it that way. I met some of y'all, and you are really... I don't always hear people saying, like, Aquarius moon is so psychic. You know, they're always like, it's Scorpio, Pisces, Saturn, like all this stuff. Like, some of the people that I've heard are, like, not psychic. It's like, they're the most, like, grounded psychic people. Whatever. My Aquarius moon just has a really good-ass poker face. And I'm hearing you've been making money like that, too. Moonlighting, huh? Danger, danger. What is it with this, with the glasses? It's like you gotta do that because that's your only tell. She has to wear the shades. Yeah, that's good. Is this like something about sleepy eyes and then... But these don't move for some reason, so it's like... Okay. 8 of Cups. Weird. I'm hearing you were going to do this last year. So it was like I think it was November, though. I keep hearing about November. I'm seeing August here, but I'm hearing it was actually November. It's something about 16 months, 16 weeks, 16 days. Whatever it is, it's like I'm not going to pry on that one here. It's a little like you don't know about it yet, but it's going to come up. Something about 16. Just tuck it away if it comes back. But I'm hearing you prefer probably when you hear it that I don't speak about it too much more because it might be helpful for something to do with your poker face. Wow, there you go. Okay, so 8 of Cups. This is also possibly having to do with somebody that you're having a really hard time talking to, and what part of the problem was, especially if you're not the Aquarius sun. I'm hearing like the Aquarius sun, we're speaking, we're working too much is what it is. I'm throwing myself in that category too because that's what I'm relating to here, but I'm hearing for some of you all that are either like Aquarius rising, but more so on the moon, it's like not talking for something, and one of you knows you shouldn't have smoked that cigarette too because it was like the bad decision. But it's I'm not faulting you, I'm not shaming you, but it's like, it's the only thing, that's the only way you'll drink white wine anyway. And I'm hearing it's like, if I would have just had the red wine, I wouldn't have even wanted it, but it was like, this wine tasted like piss. So she smoked a P-Funk. But, which probably tasted worse, but I get it. Let's see here. They're talking to me about what you were gonna do. And I'm hearing it's like, you just have to walk away from it, is the thing. Because there's sometimes, it's like, I was divining on this when I was doing the exorcism the other day, and I was getting into it with my private group for my orations, and kept hearing about, you know, people that want to make a pity toast or something after they fucked up and they know that they're canceled, right? And it's like, fuck your pity toast, you know? It's like, that's what I heard literally, and I wrote it up here, and I'm hearing for some of you, it's like, there's some things that you want to and need to say where if you go the pity toast way, it's like, it's just putting more of your emotional energy that you really don't need to give to gas holes. And it's like, where you can just, I don't want to say reclaim your energy, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's like, boom, like the door, it gets slammed harder sometimes if you just let them choke on the pity toast they wanted. Because it was already draining you. I'm hearing it. They're telling me succubus, and I don't know if somebody accused you of that, or if it's like you're dealing with somebody that's like that, like incubus, succubus, like people that will like drain your energy in like a psychic, intuitive way, especially if it's like while you're sleeping. But I'm hearing somebody was like really dealing with a really strong energy vampire. And when you know that, sometimes it's like, the catch in this is what you know about the things that somebody will like do in the darkness when they think somebody doesn't know, and you just being, you know, enough with your poker face to just kind of catch all of that energy and not let anybody try to take a gouge at you, is what I'm hearing. Because it's like, they're showing me, it's like literally like somebody's trying to take like scoops of whatever you have. It's gonna make sense to somebody, but I mean, it's literally like, I see somebody like trying to take scoops. It's like if they like, you know, they see you've got like something there in your plate, and they like want to put their fork or their spoon in it and just be like, you know, mine. I'm hearing for somebody else because like you have a toddler and it's just like insanity, but this isn't what I'm seeing here. It's like somebody that like just wants to be like, no, I don't owe you an explanation, you know? And you might need to say something. I'm not like telling you what to do. I don't want to be like telling you what to do. It's like, I'm hearing that the less emotional you can be about how you say it, the better you're gonna feel, is the thing. And I'm getting that real strong. I mean, you see this person's like covered in red, and their feet are covered in red. That's somebody who's like base material, lower vibrational need energies are clothed on them, and sometimes it's like all those like golden cups that might have been full or seemed like they weren't all that, because they're not flipped over here. I hear they might be empty, but I don't know. I can't see what's in there. All I see is that there's 8 of them, and somebody is like got the step in, and it's like IDGAF, you know. And even if they have material needs, it's like they're already on the road, and they're holding something that's the same color. It's like a gold colored staff. And so I'm just hearing that it's like, it's more about how you knew that you prepared yourself for what you were doing, even if nobody gave a shit, because this person shows up out in the open about what they're doing, caring about how they do it, and they've taken the time to look all right. Like this dude here, I mean, you know, I think like he's probably pretty well dressed there, but you know, he's got a smock on, but his hair is cool, his like curls are tight, you know, he's at work, he's got his nice little shoes on. You know, he's not looking a hot mess like some of these other people are all like, you know, crusty and like falling over. He's here like making beautiful art, and he's like out in the open, like attending to it with his hands. He's a handyman. And I think that, you know, if this is you, whether you're male or female, you probably look nice when you're doing your thing. And just the fact that you can even just be like having your own dignity while you walk away, it's a nice thing, especially if you see like somebody here like all puckered up, like waiting for what you're gonna say. It's like, all right, keep your face like that. It's perfect. We'll frame you, you know. Just, you know, you must be the doctor or something. It's nice. All right, let's see what's going on over here. All right. Yeah, you got your Six of Pentacles in reverse, and it's like, okay, so if this was your business partner, it's like it wasn't even paying off. You know it isn't. If this is about like a bad relationship with work, because I'm hearing this might not even be a person, it's just like, this is just distracting. This is what I've been doing. This is what it feels like with you. Like you're just like on the outside critiquing what I do and talking about how I make my money is what I'm hearing. And this is like somebody just kind of, like, this is sort of like a anthropomorphized version of like the indications of the situation, right? So it's like how that person would act versus who that person actually is. Because I'm hearing in somebody's situation, it's not like this person is giving you money. It's not like they're offering you anything physically. It's like it's totally devoid of that. There's no contract or currency exchange here. It's more somebody who is perceiving perhaps how you trade or offer services, what it is you're doing, and just kind of looking on it from like the outsider perspective, like window shopping, but not buying anything and just being like blah 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 blah, blah about what you do. You know, and you just being like, I hope you're waiting for a response, and you know, just walking off and just let them hang there is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that's a really nice tact for that person, because this is the person who's just looking to tell you something is what I'm hearing for some of you. Now for someone else, this is like, somebody wanted to talk to you about this. This is like, I'm hearing for somebody else, this is like pending offer. This is like you making a decision to leave something behind that wasn't emotionally fulfilling, and it's like an offer that somebody wanted to make for you, and now it's like they're like, I don't know how to even take this to you without feeling like I'm trying to like buy you in or something. And so there's a lot of this context with these readings right now, because it's like things that came to an end or that people are recognizing are like done. It's like terminated, terminal, etc. And they're at this point now where it's like, well, I didn't do this and now I wish I had. And now because it's here in this situation, I'm going to do nothing, you know, instead of doing something. And so if it's not like a malicious thing with somebody, it's like, I really wanted to do this in June and now I feel like I can't, and here's the stuff. Is what I'm hearing. And be careful, because especially if somebody's coming at you loosely for like some kind of like, hi, I like your work, and patronizing you, sometimes like I don't always live this way. Like I like it this way because the Six of Pentacles in an upright sense is somebody that's being generous. I don't like seeing people impoverished there, like needing the handout, but at least who's showing up here, you know, that's somebody that is sharing. And I'm hearing that this isn't a Libra card, but they're showing me the scales here. I'm hearing this might be somebody that you're working with. It's like Libra. They're saying it might be your mom, though. Libra or something Libra. But it's like, I'm hearing it's like you might be getting a warning from her too, or him, whoever it is. It doesn't have to be your mom. I'm just talking to that person specifically. She might have kind of warned you a little bit because whatever you do, it's not what she does. It's not like what she does. In fact, they say she's very like intuitive. She might be like a medium or something. Yeah. And it's like she kind of like warns you a little bit about, honey, you know, pay attention to the people that come to you for this or that are offering you things, because it's not always what it looks like. Like they're gonna come and be like, "Hi, I'm your friend," you know, and like I'm here for you, and it's like too much, right? And then you start to see how they're like trying to commoditize you, is what it is. And so I'm hearing it's like there might be some indications, and so for you, since it's upside down like this, I don't have enough information yet, but and there's a lot of you here that are showing up in the energy that I'm reading for. And what I'm hearing though is that it's like it's still a question on their mind how they're evaluating you anyway, you know? And so it doesn't mean they're not going to talk to you about it though, you know? It's like somebody might come to you and like, or just come and stroke you like you're their Persian cat and like, ooh, we really love you for this, and blah, 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 and, you know, want you to come think our way and, like, start talking to you about that and hear what they have to say, of course, but just know that you might not know what their agenda is. And sometimes that's the case when they show up in reverse like this, you know? It's like false charity, or like that gift that it's not really a gift, and then you find out later it's like, oh, here, let me help you, you know, and then later it's like, by the way, you know, I really need this, and then if you don't act like you're interested, then sometimes it's like, well, you know, I helped you, and, you know, you kind of get that. And I'm hearing that just watch it, because if they're coming after you about like the kind of work you do, especially if it's like a trade situation, it's like trade services kind of thing, make sure that you, because like if it's like a partnership thing, it's like, I don't know, these are specific, but I'm hearing if it's like a partnership thing, but where it's kind of like, to show me it's like connected to somebody else's businesses, where it's not like just like you guys are just like some other partners somehow in this. It's just like, make sure you like what they're doing before you get too excited. I feel comfortable saying that. Okay. What's going on? It's like a changing job thing. I mean, it's like somebody's going to get a good check here too, though, because I mean, you might not need to work anymore is the thing. And that might kind of be like you just saying, screw this, because that's kind of like my fuck it face when you see, you know, somebody walking away from the thing and, you know, fuck your pretty toast thing. Because this is somebody that works. That's an employed person. Or if they're self-employed, you know, like, hey, I'm doing my thing. I'm juggling time and money and blah, you know. Got a lot going on. Keeping it together, balancing my needs. Might be a little bit of a juggle, but when it's like upside down, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm hearing it's like this was like, this needed to. I felt like I was doing double time is what I'm seeing, because this is like somebody that's like dealing with, you might not have sun moon opposition, but it's like something is really polarized here. It's like polarized with your energy, and it's like, if it's not like a bipolar thing, it's like just feeling kind of like manic or depressed. But it's like how people can flip your switch, and especially if you're doing something that's public where people are watching you and you feel like people are window shopping you, feeling restricted, almost like it's like, I can't talk the way I want to, and this is a problem. This is a problem. Not for me, but for you that need to speak up. And I'm hearing that's the only thing that's going to glue this together anyway. It's like these two things are going to come apart if this person doesn't keep this wound up well. Like it's like a rubber band or something. It's like a band holding those coins together. See? And I'm hearing for some of you, it's like that's you wanting to like get married with somebody, and it's like what didn't happen. It's like I just keep seeing the hands coming together like this. Like I don't know what this is I'm seeing, but the person probably has a lot of water in their chart, something that you want to do, and if this is not the thing that happened last year, this is a different one I'm hearing. This is like somebody you met at work. It's like, but I keep seeing like 2 or 3 like knucklehead people over here. They're showing me like the ones that just come in for like, they're either coming in for the money or they're like making it about the money. It's like, but I did this, but I do that, but I'm this, is what I'm hearing. And it's irritating. And I'm hearing it's like, it kind of sucks because they have this pedestal sort of where it's like they've been seen doing this. And so it's like whoever these people are, especially if they're around you, it's like they're expecting it. So it's like they're like hungry for this energy. And you're like, what do I do? And this person has green on their feet. Okay, this shoes are green. This like cord that's holding these two things together, it's green. And I'm hearing it's like psychic influences on upper heart to like thymus right here. So it's like where in the process of your kundalini energy as an expression, it's like how you move your resonance up from like the base and like what you're doing to the parts of your heart that open up here in like your throat region, your thymus, like these glands in here, they even allow you to open up your vocal cords and be able to speak. And so like being around green things, being in nature, drink some tea, like warm tea, something that's gonna like soothe you here. Some of y'all are like seriously iron deficient. I'm hearing you need like kelp and iodine. It's like low thyroid or something, and this is gonna help. There's a lot of different things you can do for this, but this is the only thing that's going to get this together. And especially if this is about like your relationship with time and money or like another person, because I'm hearing some of this is like the only reason why I even want to leave is because I see it and you're not going to talk to me unless I talk to you, is what I'm hearing. And it's like I can't do it here. And so it's like somebody having like a crossroads is what I'm hearing about how they're willing to speak about this. And it's difficult if you have people that I'm just hearing might just be like influencing you because of the way you're working. Yeah. Right. King of Swords in reverse. And this person's energy, okay. So emotionally, this is not a great card to have. This is somebody that will take cheap shots because like even if they're in there straight up here, King of Swords is the person that went to war and won, and boom, he's like right there. He's like, he's a clear thinker. Some people can't tell what's going on with him, and it's not because he won't talk. It's just he's been through a lot, and a lot of people can't like handle what he has to say, right? And when it comes to emotions, he's not going to mince. He's just like, no. And if he's like this, sometimes he's just completely cut off, or he might be a real asshole. Like cheap shots, But I'm hearing in some of these cases here, it's like, it's a weird thing. They're showing me like these 3 people. It's like meddling going on. And I'm here, it's like meddling going on because somebody's perceiving a threat. It's like, I see somebody, it's like, I'm hearing if it's like an emotional, romantic thing it's not really romantic because it's like third party situations happening, but it's somebody needs romantic fulfillment or emotional fulfillment, and there are influences. It's like something going on with your work, and somebody's posturing because of whoever this guy is. So it's like the one that wants to have the say, and it's the way I'm seeing it, it's like where they hold themselves in emotional importance, or like where they think they are on your priority list, but they're not serving it up there. It's like just where they think they ought to be, is how I'm saying it. And it's kind of like, it's like baseless. It's like somebody that just says, well, because I said so, or well, because I do this, and it's not like the right answer, but in their mind, they've made themselves that in your world. And so I'm hearing it's like not balanced, and especially if there's like a work influence, it's weird. Okay. So whatever you were waiting to do or couldn't get your mind around or meditating about, I'm hearing it's just like over. Because Two of Swords here, especially if this is like relationships, like knowing who to trust, or like how to do something, especially if it's like how you're making your money. They're saying it's like you have a higher calling. It's like, I was doing this, but it's like I really want to do that. And these weren't, they're full, you know, I have the cups here and making money, but it's like I want to do that, is what I keep saying. And it's like somebody that's just like, you know, ready to make a change, and knowing that they're not going to do double duty too, because it keeps showing this, like this moon, see, has like the face here. It could be like the sun moon, or it could be like the side of the moon that actually finally expresses what it needs by fulfilling its own cup and moving onward. And here it's like you had like a slight moon, and you know, now we see like this person here, the Two of Swords. Is this somebody that's tuned in? But they're guarding their heart, you know, and they don't want to see, they're listening and maybe thinking, but like not doing. And this is like the end of that inertia. This is like the end to that. This is when somebody just says, no, you know, I'm going to do something. And here for somebody, it's like literally taking themselves deep down under, inside. It's like a rebirth thing, or dealing with somebody in Australia. Yes. I heard cut. And it's like something they cut, actually. Yeah. And something that they were overhearing that they shouldn't have heard at all. Huh. Wow. I heard it's not because they're psychic, though. It's like somebody's mic was on, or like somebody sent them a recording. Yeah, and they were trying to twist it up, is what it is. You can do so many things, like especially if you know anything about hexadecimal code and like sound decay. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with a fractal. And you can literally change things and make it look like somebody said and did things with it's an art, just put it that way, especially with somebody who might come in with this kind of license on their mind, especially if they're trying to commoditize you. See, this is what I'm hearing too. It's like somebody that's gonna, like, that could go as far as being like, well, I gave you this, and so it means that I get to do this with your thing if I don't get what I want, is what it is. It's like somebody that'll kind of do that. That's really shitty. The other thing that I'm seeing here too, it's like, these are all so different. It's because Pentacles, it's going to be your Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a lot of times, somebody, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I'm hearing about, if this isn't about somebody that's got a lot of like earth in their chart that's learning how to stabilize it, because I'm hearing it was like something's been unbalanced. It's like, it's just, it hasn't been balanced for them. And I'm hearing it's like, it's not something that they were doing intentionally. It's like something did not add up. And so they've been in a process, and I'm hearing it's like generosity that didn't come back or something is how they're making it sound, but it's not like, I'm hearing it's not like something that they set out to do. It's like they changed a job. I'm hearing about like somebody that changed their job, and then what they couldn't keep doing is what they're saying. And so it's like, it might be with time in the day too, because I keep seeing like, it looks like an hourglass to me. It literally looks like, it's just how the energies look to me here in front of me. But if it's that person, it's like your schedules were synchronized really weird. It's like, why I'm seeing these two faces, it's like somebody having to adjust their clock or something. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this was the card that had flown out before, and I don't know if it was this way before or like this, but it literally had jumped off when we had started, and this had also jumped out of the deck before we started. So somebody really wants to talk here is what I was hearing. I was hearing whatever is going on this side is like, for some of the people involved here, I'm hearing the word volatile. It's like it could be volatile, really volatile. But I'm hearing for somebody else, it's like it was their exposure to volatile organic compounds, which is why somebody was having a throat problem. You can have a diagnosis on that. And yeah, staph infection, right? Okay. The other thing, I was hearing about somebody's like sibling thing, like for whoever's moon it was. Like, especially if you've got like some Randall, whoever Randy is, prize, right? Yes. Randall the Handle. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, somebody was getting tart over what they wanted to say, I'm hearing. Real like tart with you. And I think that's when this one flew out. It was like something about somebody's brother or like meddlesome cousin that tries to be like their dad or something. And he has something to say about how you're making your money, and it's like, nobody's gonna make that much money from a book or something like that, and like, I made all this and I'm the doctor kind of thing. And watch out with that one, because this one just likes to demonstrate prowess is what I'm hearing. But for somebody else here, I'm just hearing like, this is like how life flips on a dime. It's not even a dime. Fuck this dime shit. It's like, ugh, Nicolation Nation. Going to hell like that too. Tokenizing. I'm so tired of it. But they turn themselves into apps, literally, and I helped appify them with a stupid MLM program that they should not have ever shared with me because it made it too easy. But anyway, this guy, whoever this is, that I'm hearing, the one that's flying straight that went upside down, it's like, I don't know if this was like a plane accident or something. It's like something happened. He landed it though, didn't he? Some kind of crazy landing. Oh. Whatever it is there, I hear he doesn't even want to talk about it. It's like, leave him alone about that. That one's your friend. Maybe that's like why you're not talking. Or maybe why you weren't, and what's hard to talk about. It's like, I don't know. I'm hearing lay soft on that one. I'm going to push too hard, but you might only be able to write to this person. I'm also hearing too, it's like, for somebody over here, it's like a really sad thing. It's like they're holding the space. Like I just see them like holding the space, and it's like a waiting. But I'm hearing it's like, I think people talk about twin flames and twin spirit and soul kind of weird for me. As somebody that like understands how the body works, it's like your body is like the spirit that like chose you. It's like the first partner, and doesn't like to feel like it got raped, and likes to know that the person that woke up in the eye, or that was a camera, like advanced cyber, like wake up plastic and metal and plant, became this thing, this body that made love and woke up with you in it. And there's like this psychic consciousness between you and your form. There's some things that don't get severed, where that relationship becomes prioritized. And I'm hearing for somebody here, it's like highly psychic relationship with somebody that's also aware of their twin essence. And it's literally like having 4 people in a dialogue and trying to negotiate the personalities here. It's like, wow. It's good though. It's beautiful, because it's like whoever it is, they've been holding the space here for balance, equanimity. They have it here, and they're eager to communicate is what I'm seeing. And it's like things are changing for them really fast. It's like that card was flipping up, and it was like destiny happening, Wheel of Fortune. This is major arcana here. And it's like the only thing that's displacing them, I hear. Something about time. But that's such an elusive concept anyway. It never really held much water for me. The cool thing about this though is they're holding this space, and whoever it is on this side, especially if this is you, Aquarius, it looks like you're holding space too. If this is like in a relationship, it's like you're both upside down about kind of the same thing. It's like trying to hold this space for something that hasn't quite yet been communicated, but there's a common glue here, and it looks like something needs to be cut before something can happen, is what I'm seeing. See what you have in common. Okay, 4 of Cups in reverse, and this makes sense. It's a little bit of a party pooper card sometimes, because 4 of Cups is somebody that's just sort of meh about whatever is happening. It's like you might be waiting for something, for somebody to like give them the cup they want, because you're looking at these other 3 ones and they're like, these knucklehead screwballs. Like, I want that one that didn't show up, and it's upside down. It's like, I'm tired of wanting that one that didn't show up, or now I'm going to do something about it, but I don't know what. And so it's kind of like emotional flatline, getting like one of those. That's what that card is for me sometimes. And I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like, that's why you're working. It's like busy work, and like cutting off stupid communications that like, that you've had to tune out in favor of what feels more stabilizing. But they're showing me somebody, it's almost like robotic. It's like, yeah. I'm going to get a few cards here for our 4 of Cups. Just see if we can get a few Sabilas. A little more information, and see what that helps us know about that. I don't like leaving it on that. It's kind of weird. It's just like, hi, I'm done waiting for something that hasn't come in. Yeah, that feels right there. This one really wants to come out. I'm just going to leave that one there for a second. We're going to look at that. Look at that first. Okay, that's cool. I'm so happy about that. because, you know, we did have Wheel of Fortune show up, right? We literally have Fortuna that was trying to pop out over here. I love her. Ah, she's amazing. Fortuna. She's the one on the Wheel of Fortune with the cornucopia. It's like bestowing the gifts. And that's like, well, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's nice to see Fortuna wanting to show up, especially around Fidelta. This came out earlier too. Fidelta was facing me for the Sagittarius, but that's a good friend. That's a card of loyalty and fidelity. And that's nice because somebody might not have been feeling well. A Malto. Somebody's sick in the bed. It could have been you. It's like a past position here. Dispiacere. Well, she's not happy about what she read. What's on that paper? I think it's about somebody's diagnosis. Yeah. You're not going to want to know what I found out. Somebody really hurt themselves. Yeah. Just to make a surprise. Oh, somebody is actually going to be happy about something because consolante sorpresa. This right here is somebody that's kind of happy with what they found out. It's like whatever it was justified in some small way. But it's not like a huge victory. It's like finding out something that's like good. But I'm hearing it's like for somebody, they needed to know that because something happened with this person, especially if this is somebody that was put upon, you know, if they had somebody that was influencing them negatively, and you know, that was the reason for the sadness here. I like Consolante Sorpresa. It's a pretty good card. There's money involved with that. But I'm hearing for somebody, it's like they're showing me all this money, like coming at somebody. They're kind of just like, whatever. I'm not like into it for the money. I'm excited that whatever this knucklehead thing is that happened didn't hurt whoever the person is that's affected. It's like a third-party situation is what I'm hearing. It's like third-party situation. Somebody was being affected, and whatever this is going to give somebody the motivation to pick up from feeling like they're just sitting there waiting for something to happen. It doesn't seem to be happening while maybe this thing whooshed by them. Because I'm hearing that's what it is. It's like, for somebody, it's like sad news because they found out that somebody moved on. It's like, well, you were doing that, I was doing this, and you know, I'm in this situation and you're in that situation, and somebody didn't like that. But I'm hearing for somebody else, it's more like you're not having that conversation. It's not a direct conversation. It's like somebody moved on with their life, completely moved on with their life, and it was a source of sadness. And now they're happy about it because it's like something else came in from a completely different direction. And I'm hearing, even if it's like money involved, that it's less about the money. It's more about feeling like somebody like caught them, like somebody got it. Because that's what this card can be like a lot of times with the Wheel of Fortune. One thing that I've seen happen a lot is that there's people involved. There's so many people like all over this. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beings here. And they're like all having something to say, writing something down, guarding this, protecting that, slithering around the business. You know, there's a lot of things going on with this card. And although it's got a lot of energy, it's like one of those things that can just like flip sometimes. And especially when there's a lot of people involved. And so what I don't like is when I see it with a bunch of like upside down cards possibly affecting somebody's emotional character. their willingness to maybe take risks with how they commoditize people, that kind of thing. It can be suspicious. What I do like is that Fortuna was sticking out with this fidelity card, because it's like, it's just showing somebody moving in a completely different direction from where the sickness and the stress was, where they could not move or speak, and being at a point where they've gone beyond discontent, or just like, I wouldn't even say like this is so much discontent, but it could be, but just feeling like maybe like a malaise, like something's not happening, and feeling like maybe like like opportunities are passing you by, because it's like you're not getting the one you want. And the way I'm seeing it, it's literally like the last bit of that just being removed, because some kind of friendship or some kind of understanding showed up with what looks kind of like a gift, because this looks like a really big gift coming in. This is like somebody that is beyond whatever the Wheel of Fortune is, that can literally step on that and be like, look what I got, you know, and I'm your friend. And feeling like this could stabilize, because this card shot out of the deck. It was spinning around, and it was actually one of the first cards that had even shot out of the deck when I was starting Just With You, Aquarius. So I like this for you, and I would make that a focal point, because I'm hearing that even if it's like money or something that comes in, it's like less of that is gonna maybe make you happy. What's more is that like somebody went and caught that and was like, look, you know, I'm here with you. Because these two cards are very different with Fortune. This is one person doing something directly, and here this is like onlookers everywhere, you know? And sometimes that feels different. It's like, oh, all these people want to be involved, and then it's like, I'm gonna walk away from that. I'm gonna go with this one. So you might have some things showing up for you that this hopefully will help you analyze a little bit right now, because I feel like some of this, the big theme for me tonight when I've been doing this, is more about people just feeling like the closure that never came needs an understanding around it, so that we can see why like closure was such a BS string along for a lot of people. Like, what is closure, you know? Unless we're really gonna close it up, you know, really get it answered, it's BS, you know? It's just like that elusive thing that you just, you know, just carry off in the wind. It never comes into your focus or in your arms. And so I like that we can conclude something elusive like Wheel of Fortune spinning out with fidelity, friendship, and somebody that looks like they actually catch it. So I hope that that's what's coming here, and I want to wish you well on that one, because that would be good for all of us. And you know, definitely be a nice note for anybody that felt like they might be dealing with some weird family thing, because especially if you've got, it's like, keep showing me it's like the brother or the uncle or cousin thing, like wanting to like steal the show or something like that. It's like they can't do that here, you know? It's like the wrong kind of exposure for them. So hopefully you'll feel protected with that. I'm definitely focused on getting some good energies around that, and you know, I'm going to be focusing on it because I have an Aquarius sun too. So it'll be in my prayers and in my energy work. All right, well, I hope this was helpful. I am up late as fuck. It looks like it is 3:32. It's about to be 3:33 a.m. here where I am. So I'm just gonna tune myself out here and call it a night. And thanks for being here. Catch you again when we're back for another one. Might be back tomorrow to do I think the last three: Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, since I haven't gotten to them yet. But I'm gonna leave on a song, and I'll call it a night.